The charting in Excel allows you to visualize what is happening with data. It's a very useful tool and very easy to actually use. So first, let's just create a chart. So you'll see I've got some data here. It's always useful to have the data close together, although you can have it all over the place. It works a lot better when it's close together. And to create our first chart, I highlight it, I click insert, and you'll see there's a number of chart types here. For now, we're just going to go into a plain simple 2D column, and you'll see very quickly Excel has created a chart which is similar to this one where we've played around a bit on it. Before we go into detail about how to use these charts, let's just look at how it works. So very similar to pivot tables, if you clicked on a cell, you'll see we've got these ribbons. If you click in the chart, you suddenly get two more ribbons which help you with the chart. You can also right click, and there's a whole bunch of things you can do, and there's other ways to shortcut to get certain areas. What we are going to do is we'll cover some of these buttons here, but generally speaking, we like to teach that if you've got a problem, for example, with that, you right click on it and see what can be done with it without having to remember exactly what it's called over here. So let's just look at what we've got up here. So the first thing, and quite important, under the design tab, you'll see we have the ability to add chart elements. So in this case, because of what we created, it's already put in, for example, a title and a legend, etc. If there's something else we want to add, so for example under axes, these two are already on, but maybe you want to switch it off. So notice as you hover, you get a preview of what will happen. Axes titles, so here we don't seem to have titles, but notice if you look at the chart, let's actually bring it closer to us, is you can actually see what's happening. So this is going to be very useful to be able to add various items. Some of the useful ones for us, the vertical grid lines, trend lines, etc. In this ribbon as well, a lot of time has been spent making charts prettier. So you'll see you've got a whole range of items, and as you can see as I go over them, these are different views which show you what some people have built, which seem to cut down on the amount of formatting you need to do. You'll notice as well there's a quick layout which offers a similar type of experience. So you just need to find the one you like, and it will then hopefully look significantly more professional. You have the ability to change colors, so depending on what color scheme you want, you can use those. A very useful tool over here is called switch row and columns. So if you've set up this chart and for some reason you actually on this axis here you didn't want the dates, you actually wanted the descriptions, instead of trying to change all the data, just click switch row and column and you'll see it switches it around. So that's very useful where you create a chart and it just doesn't look right. First thing you do, switch row and column. The select data key just takes us into this dialog box, which is basically how Excel's decided that it'll look there. And we will cover this in more detail, but at least you can go in here and perhaps tweak where it's looking. You can change chart types, so we're going to spend a bit of time on all the chart types, but when you click here you get access to all the chart types, and we can now change what this chart will be. You also have the ability to move a chart, so you can move it like this, or you can click move chart, and this is often useful when you want to create a new chart sheet or you want to move it to another sheet. So that covers what you can do here. Under the format, you'll see there's quite a bit of formatting options, putting in shapes, putting in word art, etc. The two that are important to us is on the far left here, you've got a little thing here called chart area. Now the reason it says chart area is because I happen to be clicked on here. If I click there, now it says plot area. If I click on here, it now says series Vodacom. So this is quite useful because, for example, there's a very small series here called cell C, and it's quite hard to actually hover over there. If I want to do something with that, I'm going to click on it, and you'll see over here it says series cell C, and you'll see it activates it. So it's sometimes easier, instead of trying to right click, to choose what you want to change, and then I can go format selection, and you'll see we get a whole bunch of options. You'll also see you have the ability to change the size. So you can manually play with this. You can type in the size you want of the chart, or you can click here and go into more detail about how you want it to be sized. And this can be very useful when you need all the charts to be the same size. So what we have here now is we've shown all the buttons that are available here. Everything we can do here can pretty much be done by clicking on an area of a chart, right clicking, and then looking at some of these things. So there's changing the chart type, selecting the data, moving the chart. So for the most part, we'll teach it this way, but keep in mind that as with everything in Excel, there are lots of ways to do it, and you must do the way that makes you feel most comfortable.